Alright, welcome back to Attack the Back, Part 4. Alright, so last we left off on the Browns and their situation, and we were talking about who they need to get production out of. My mate here said whoever's at quarterback, whether it be Johnny Manziel or they were talking to somebody. I forgot who. It obviously wasn't Brian Hoyer. I can't remember who it was, but nonetheless.
Who they have a quarterback aside from?
Well, no, they were talking to a free agent. They were talking to some veteran free agent like a Matt Castle, but it wasn't Matt Castle.
Weren't they talking to McCown?
Yeah, that's right. I think he signed. I'm pretty sure he signed. Yeah, he signed. That's right, Josh McCown. I think they got to get production out of their cornerback, Justin Gilbert. I mean, he was supposed to be, the guy to lock down next to Joe Hayden, and they were supposed to have the best cornerback tandem in the league, And then next thing you know, he's getting beat out by a guy named Buster Skrine. Come on, the dude's first name is Buster. What the hell? But I digress. They spent the 8th overall pick on him. And since you went ahead and said quarterback, I'm going to just go be different and say they got to get production out of Justin Gilbert. I mean, they got to get a return on that investment. What do you think they go in the draft?
I think they go after a tight end. They lose Jordan Cameron.
Yeah, he said he straight up doesn't want to come back.
You've got Max Williams, Devin Funchess if he declares as a tight end.
Well, I mean, when you draft him, you can make him play wherever you want.
I think you got 2 solid prospects right there.
And there's Clive Walford, who's the number 2 tight end. Because right now, Devin Funchess is listed as a wide receiver. But, I don't know. They got to do something. For my money, I think they're picking too high to get tight end.
True.
At least with the first pick. Definitely not with the first pick. Maybe with the second pick, go get that Max Williams. But not with the first pick. I definitely would look at wide receiver in the first round. Again, a Jalen Strong type. He keeps coming to mind with their second pick. Real good deep ball guy. Got that getaway speed. He's got everything they need. Deep threat, good, strong body, jumper. I mean, he jumped like 48 inches or something like that at the combine. So, real strong pick there. All right, moving on to the Steelers. Steeler Nation. Okay. Here's a question a lot of Steelers fans don't want to think about. Is it time to start thinking about possibly drafting and grooming Ben's replacement like we did with Aaron Rodgers?
Probably not a bad idea. He's getting older. Like we talked about earlier, he's got that style of take a hit, brush it off, get back up, and that in this league you can only do that for so long.
Especially with the linebackers and the safeties and defensive ends getting faster and faster.
Sure.
I mean, it was a joke, but there was a Brett Favre commercial a couple years back where he was like, I never thought I'd be playing when I was 50. I mean, you got defensive linemen, 300 pounds, running 4.240s now. Obviously, we don't have defensive linemen running 4.240s, but they are getting faster and faster. So all that weight you had moving this fast is now moving this fast. It's increasing down the scale, so it's the same amount of weight but moving faster. That's a harder and harder impact. It may get to the point where every quarterback has to be built like Cam Newton or Ben Roethlisberger in order to be able to sustain hits. But the fact that he just stands there, though, and he takes it, he doesn't slide, he doesn't dive, he doesn't, say what you will about Tom Brady, but Tom Brady's smart. He is smart with his body. He will just fall down if need be. Um, Speaking of falling down, did you know Brett Favre gave Michael Strahan the sack record for a single season by falling down?
I do recall that.
Yeah. Gave him the sack record by just falling down in front of him. But yeah, I mean, they drafted the kid out of Oklahoma, Landry Jones, a couple years ago, but I don't really see him working out. Kind of like how the Patriots drafted Ryan Mallett to start working something, but then 3-4 years into it, they realized, okay, he's not going to be the guy. Let's move on, grab somebody else, and they got Jimmy Garoppolo. That you're going to see the same thing from the Steelers, not necessarily this year, but perhaps in a few years from now. Is Troy Polamalu done? I'm supposed to come out and say I think he needs to be. He was graded as one of the worst safeties in the NFL last year. What are your feelings?
I think you see another year, maybe 2 out of him.
Yeah. I don't know how you decline so fast. I mean, it just goes to show the toll that the NFL can take on a guy. Because just 4 years ago, he was defensive MVP of the league when they lost to us in the Super Bowl. So, well, I guess technically 5 years ago, because that was the 2009 season. But still, I mean, damn. And it's not just this year. He was kind of bad last year too. He just got worse. All right. Is Le'Veon Bell a top 5 back in the league?
He looks pretty damn good.
He does look pretty damn good. Not only does he look good, he looks good at doing everything. We're talking pass blocking. We're talking receiving. We're talking straight up good old fashioned running the ball and running somebody over. The thing he can do that our boy Eddie Lacy can't, no matter how hard he tries, is he can actually juke people. Eddie.
You're a big boy.
We're gonna get to Eddie Lacy plenty soon enough. All right. They went Jarvis Jones 2 years ago, outside linebacker out of Georgia. He's been kind of a disappointment. They went Ryan Shazer last year. Not really a disappointment, but out with injury. Where do they go this year?
Definitely defense. I say go defense early. Get some good prospects. I mean, offensive side of the ball. Still got Ben at quarterback.
Pull them on the draft.
You got Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. You've got arguably the best receiver in football right now. Numbers wise, Antonio Brown.
Oh, yes, okay.
Still got Heath Miller at tight end. Got some decent other wide receivers behind Brown. So
Yeah, like
Marcus Wheaton.
Yeah, Marcus Wheaton. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, he came on pretty good.
Martavis Bryant.
Martavis Bryant came on pretty good. Yeah.
So I mean, offensive side of the ball, you're good.
Maybe a lineman. They might need some linemen.
Or
Pull
perhaps look for somebody to replace.
I'd say safety help. Landon Collins, safety out of Alabama.
Yeah,
Landon Collins. If not the first round, then maybe come out in the second round and get Gerard Holloman, safety out of Louisville. You need somebody back there. Not only do you have to replace Troy Polamalu, but you also got to replace Ryan Clark. I know Ryan Clark ain't been there in a couple of years, but Ryan Clark, Troy Polamalu were like bam, bam. They were a tandem. They were rocking and rolling. And they pick at 22. So Landon Collins will probably be there. Let's see, right now on NFL.com we got outside linebackers and defensive tackles. So, yeah, that's another option. If they don't go Landon Collins, outside linebacker, try to get some of that pass rush, because historically the Steelers have always gotten their pass rush from their outside linebackers. I mean, look at Lamar Woodley. And they got Jason Worlds right now, I think, playing one side. The other side's kind of open. All right, moving on to the NFC. And yes, there is bias in this one because we're going to start off with the Packers first because they are first. They always are first. And one time they weren't first in the recent history, they won the Super Bowl. Yes, that's right. I'm talking about the 2009 season. The Bears were the number 2 seed in the NFC, won the NFC North, and lost in the NFC Championship to
The Packers.
So, now this was written before the breaking news today. But we were talking options if Cobb were to walk. So let's go ahead and pretend this breaking news didn't hit, and we didn't know about Cobb. What would you say our options are if Cobb walked?
I don't think you have options in free agency, and that's not the Packers' way to go out in free agencies. I mean, they made huge waves last year by going out and picking up Peppers. I don't see them going out and drafting a receiver. You got Devontae Adams, showed promise.
Especially down the
You got
stretch.
Jared Aberdeen's coming out this year. You got Jeff Janis. So you have prospects there.
Right.
You have a quarterback that could make the worst of receivers look good. You've got an offensive line that down the stretch last year protected Rodgers for the first time in 4 years.
Yeah, something like that. It's like the first year he wasn't the most sacked quarterback. Yeah, I completely agree. The only thing I might say differently is that it being such a deep draft at wide receiver, I could see them getting wide receiver help, not in the first round, but possibly in the third.
If they do, get a big target.
Yes. Please.
Red zone.
Worst area for our offense. And even though Randall Cobb has been re-signed, it changes nothing about how putrid our red zone offense was last year. We went to a Packer game last year. Tampa Bay, we were there. Red zone offense was terrible. It was a foreshadow of things to come against Seattle. 7 plays down the red zone, coming away with 3 points.
Let's look at an if scenario. The Packers in 2014, they have a healthy Jermichael Finley on the field.
I think we might be looking at different Super Bowl champions.
Rodgers throws 50-plus touchdowns. Easy.
Probably.
Because not only do you have that big target in the red zone, think about how much more productive, not that he wasn't productive,
Yeah.
but think about how much more productive Cobb becomes in the slot when they've got to watch out for a tight end like that.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Third down efficiency. Which leads me to my number one option. If Cobb were to walk, which obviously won't happen, but if he were, my number one option, Max Williams.
Oh.
Minnesota, tight end. I don't give a damn if middle linebacker is a bigger need. We don't draft need. We draft BPA, best player available. And Max Williams fixes our offense.
Let's see, where does the mock draft have Green Bay?
Every once in a while somebody will throw in, we're picking 30. Some people will give us Max Williams. Everybody else pretty much has us doing defensive tackle and inside linebacker.
God.
You just don't want any FSU players, do you?
Not him.
Why not Eddie Goldman?
I think he was overrated.
Fair enough. I think Bernard McKinney is, the more I watch and analysis that I read and whatnot of his play, he doesn't do any one thing particularly good. It's all just really well. He covers average. He tackles average. He's not going to burn you in any one area, but he's not going to excel in anything. And to me, that's not worth a first-round pick. What should the Packers do in free agency? Obviously, sign Cobb. Mission accomplished. First point done. What else?
Next priority, Brian Bulaga.
I agree completely. Bulaga needs to get signed. After that, We lead to our next question. Do you re-sign House or do you go with Williams?
Devon House.
Hands down, easy
Hands down.
choice. Easy choice. I don't care if the guy has a few injury problems. A few injury problems and missing a couple games a season is better than getting burnt in every crucial situation.
Let's look at one example from the 2014 season.
The Julio Jones effect.
Julio Jones goes off. There's one Packer defender who shuts him down. Devon House.
3 receptions for 30 yards.
Yeah. Tramon Williams, Sam Shields.
Hang on.
They weren't 10, 15 yards from him.
Hang on. I saw a guy, I read it on NFL.com somewhere, where one of the guys was trying to talk. They were talking up Devon House, and they were using Sam Shields as a bash target. They were saying, yeah, Sam Shields was getting toasted. He got toasted for like 80-something yards before Devon House came in to start covering Julio Jones. And I'm like, okay. But a better comparison would have been Tramon Williams, who on one singular play, gave up more yards to Julio Jones than Sam Shields did all night. This is why we call him gets burned a lot. It was a 97-yard touchdown, and Julio makes this cut and just burns Tramon in his own steps. He burns him in his cleats. And he takes off, and actually, you know what? I think that I don't know if it went for a touchdown. I don't remember because I think Sam Shields
chased him
stopped
down within the 5-yard line
and tackled him within the 5-yard line. Sam Shields came from the other side of the field. I don't care if that guy was getting burnt all night. He made up for it by the sheer effort. Now, granted, I think they ended up scoring anyway, but still, he showed moxie. He's like, fuck this. I ain't letting this dude score on us. Come on.
That was pure speed.
That was pure, unadulterated speed. Hey, he tracked him down 97 yards after getting burnt for 80. So, I mean, but what did Tramon do? He did nothing except for stand there and watched and eat some dust as Julio was taking off. Not only that, but who's the one that lost the game for us ultimately and decided the game in overtime against Seattle in the NFC Championship? Who was that got burned for the winning touchdown? What was his name? Yeah, I think it started with a T. Yeah, his last name might have been Williams. Yeah, that's right. Tramon Williams.
He didn't get burned, but
he got burned by Ricardo Lockett. He got burned.
He did get burned, but let's face it, that there shouldn't even been an overtime.
No, but he got burned. It would have been a lot worse if Ricardo Lockett had to go further to get a touchdown. I'm telling you, he was gaining space. He was gaining separation, and when he caught the ball, like Tramon was like an arm's length away, and in the NFL that's wide open.
Oh yeah,
he just got burned. And he was losing ground. So, what do the Packers do with their first pick? Do they go middle linebacker, defensive tackle, tight end? What do they do?
Let's be honest, they're gonna go defensive
For like the 10th year in a row.
They're gonna go defensive tackle or inside linebacker.
I will give my response when we come back with part 5.